Hello. For the family and friends watching this video, wife and I live in Northport, Florida, and we just survived our way through Hurricane Ian. At the time it was happening and the days that followed, I put together a series of short videos. I had made these for my son who lives in California, so if you hear a few personal references kind of strewing along in here, sorry, but nothing bad, I assure you. Anyway, this is what happened to us. We were lucky. We were very lucky. A lot of people lost everything entirely. We survived quite well, I'm happy to say. All right, here we go. This is a bit unscripted for you, Chris, and I'll do the best I can just to give you a sense of the things that your mom and I have gone through here. So, starting on Monday the 26th, I had put up the hurricane shutters so that we were buttoned up that way all around the house. I left a couple openings though, so I left an exit through the hurricane shutter so we could get out the front door if we had to, get out the back door if we had to. If a hurricane hit the house and lightning struck and started a fire, we definitely needed a way to get out, and we didn't want to be boxed in by putting the hurricane shutters all the way around it, sealing us entirely off. I thought that would be a death trap. However, it turned out that was a wrong move on my part, and I'll explain that later. Well, I figured we were pretty prepared for this storm. After all, we'd been through a couple of them before, and we survived that okay, pretty much buttoned up just like I had the house this time. I really wasn't too worried. According to the news, we weren't even in the watch zone for a hurricane. Here's where we live. Here's where Robin lives. And the projections on there in the watch zone and the warning zones were not over us, so I was feeling okay. The projected path was to Tampa. It was supposed to stay offshore from us. Even the guy on TV here, he wasn't too worried about it. He was telling us it was going to go to Tampa. So, on the evening of the 26th, we went to bed, thinking everything was okay. I had plenty of water, plenty of food. I had a full tank of gas in the generator and 12 extra gallons in containers. Plus, I had 10 gallons of gas in the car and another 20 gallons of gas in the tank of the RV. So I was figuring we were okay. Well, when we woke up the next morning, this was Tuesday the 27th, we were in big trouble. The hurricane during the night had taken a wobble and had turned east, heading towards the west coast of Florida, heading towards us. Now this was a concern. Hurricane Charlie 10 years earlier had done exactly the same thing, and it looked like it was proceeding on exactly the same path, coming into the same place. Hurricane Charlie went up the Peace River. This one looked like was coming over the top of us into the Myakka River, which is just north of where we live. Very concerning. Larger and wider than Charlie ever was, wider than the state of Florida. But the real problem is, Charlie came through here at about 25 miles an hour, landed, did its damage, and moved on. This hurricane was only moving at about 10 miles per hour. It was going to set right on top of us and tear everything up. Hey there, how you doing? Well, I'm outside draining the pool right now. I want to take the pool down about 18 or maybe 15, 18 inches so of water. We're supposed to get a lot of water, a lot of rain here. I drained it last night down about 9 inches and it filled right back up by the time the morning came around. So it's been raining a lot, and this is just a drizzle ahead of the storm. So it's supposed to be pretty bad, so I'm draining the pool. I've got some other videos I've taken of the trees blowing, that kind of stuff. I'll send you that as well. Anyway, love you. Bye. Okay, just outside our front door, wind is kind of blowing the rain into our porch. But I just thought I'd take a quick picture of this. It's pushing the stop sign over. It's really whipping the trees around. All right, this hurricane is just on top of us now. The eye of it is just sitting on Tamiami Trail. I don't know if you can see any of this, but the telephone poles are whipping around. There's a line there that's flying back and forth. The stop sign over there is almost on the ground. So it's pretty bad. This storm was much worse than I thought it was going to be. Much worse than what we went through when Irma came through a couple of years earlier. Here's a quick snapshot of my blood pressure, which I took at the time. 145/90. Not too bad given the circumstances, but maybe a little higher than what it should have been. At this point, the eye of the hurricane will not come over our house. I didn't know that at the time. It had shifted a little further south, so we were in the wind stream the entire 6 hours. It originally was moving at 30 miles an hour when it hit shore, slowed down to 10 miles per hour when it landed, and then slowed to 8 miles per hour after it came fully on shore. When the hurricane came ashore, the wind speed was 155 miles per hour, a Category 4 storm. That's actually only 2 miles below a Category 5 storm, which starts at 157 miles per hour. Since the storm was actually a little south of us, the wind speed outside our window right then was 145 miles per hour. That sound you're hearing is the sound of wind being forced through the seams of the front door. The picture you're seeing is the screen of our front porch. It was torn apart by a piece of our fence, which was torn out by the wind and flung into the front of the house. Thank God we had the cage there, otherwise it would have crashed at the front window and the door. We were getting the full pressure of the wind at this time, 155 miles per hour. So forceful was the wind, it was blowing the front door open. I tried jamming a chair underneath the handle to keep it from coming apart, but that didn't work. I finally had to take a board and screw it across the bottom of both doors to seal them shut, and then still had to jam the chair under the handle just to keep the doors from flying apart into the house. Later I'd find out we weren't the only ones who had that problem. Well, here's the morning after. Oh boy. We got tree branches down. I've been stripped off. Floodwaters. The streets are flooded. I've got to put my mailbox back up too, huh? And stop sign's gone. It's a lake out here. But we're high and dry, which is good. Water is right at the edge of our drive here. Down in where you'd expect it to be. See how the rest of the house looks. Well, our little lamp post is gone in the front yard. Roof, at least on this side, looks like it's in pretty good shape. Looks like we got some soffit missing. Have to have that repaired, certainly. Let's go around the house to see what else has happened that is missing. Well, the roof looks like it's came through okay, at least this side of it. Full housing is still here. The cage is held up, which is a good sign. Poor fence didn't. Poor trees took a beating. Yeah, I don't see any missing roofing tiles, so that's good. Looks like the screen door is beaten apart. Oh boy, here's the cover for our water system. Better get that back. Let's see how the well is doing. Oh boy. The well is here. At least it didn't get tore apart and broke off the top. Let's check the rest of it. Man. Okay. Well, one gate's there. The rest of it's gone. The equipment is still here. There used to be a lid on this thing. That's gone. We'll get the lid back on this. We might need that water. And it looks like this got broken away from the, yep, this is completely broken off here. Should move that tank. This got torn off the wall. It was bolted up there. Man, oh man, oh man. I guess I didn't even notice the roof of this thing is gone. There was the TV antenna. Not much of a TV antenna anymore. It's coming in for the cable, and the cable company seemed to be in place. Although it looks like they've tore loose right here. Get up there and see. Well, it's 12:30 on the day after the storm. I got some of the fence put back, and I've got the generator running. You can probably hear that. So we're good. I've got a small air conditioner installed in the house now, so we should have some cool to it. But the water is receding, so look at that. This was all flooded all the way down there this morning when we got up after that storm. And now you can see pavement, so it's drying out. The canal is that direction. About probably 2 more blocks beyond that. So you can see the water is moving in that direction, which is good. Well, hello son, here I am today out in the backyard cleaning up. It's day 2 after the hurricane, still on the generator. You can probably hear that going in the background. Hopefully you can hear me. This is all come from here. There we are, which is now in my yard, and I gotta do something to clean that up. I've got my electric saw out here. A busy day. Hope the gasoline lasts in the generator long enough for me to finish this. I think I got about 6 hours worth of gas left. And then somewhere, somehow, I've got to go find some more gas. So, anyway, I love you. We'll see you later. Bye. Well, I'm making some progress. At least I think so. I've got quite a bit done here, but still quite a bit more to go. Here's what I've got so far, which doesn't seem like a lot once you pile it all up, but it's been a lot of work, actually. Well, I'm taking a little break at the moment. Look, things are getting better. They really are. I'm glad of that. Here's the water that used to be all the way up to my property. You can see where the line here is. That's how far the water went up on the property, which is not too far from the house, but far enough away. You know, we were saved, so I'm really glad of that. But it's receding. There's just a little bit left in the swale here. Eventually I got to go and get my fence from this jungle next door, but it's a little dangerous over there. You can see the palm trees have been, even in this thicket, have been blown over. This is a 100-foot pine tree, which is blown over. The only thing that kept it from going all the way to the ground, trees over here, which are holding it up. So it's pretty dangerous in there. There's a lot of stuff that's broken overhead and could come loose at any moment and fall on you. You know, another thing that's really just a pain in this cleanup is this log here. Now, this thing, it's a pine tree. Like all trees, you know, this is about 5 inches across here. And it's, I don't know, about 3 foot long. I cut it in 3-foot section. This damn thing weighs probably 25 pounds. Well, that may not seem like much, but to some younger guy who can, you know, tote them around, you know, 5 at a time in his arms, I can't do that anymore. These damn things are heavy. Another thing are these damn pine cones. Here's a couple of them. These are missiles, and they are all over the yard. There's another one there and there. And there and there, they're everywhere. When the wind is blowing, you know, it's 125 miles an hour outside. If you were out in it, one of these hit you in the head, you might be damn sorry. Hello, my son. Well, it's day 3. You can probably hear the generator still going. I have mine turned off right now. Frankly, thank God you had me buy that inverter. I'm running the inverter off the small car right now. It is running the refrigerators, it's running a light, it takes the TV and the VCR player, so we have entertainment. I have an antenna, but I have an antenna up right here. However, it's crap. You know, I bought it at a discount store. It looked pretty, it looked fancy, it looked like it would do the job. It looked just like the other one actually, but it turns out it's not like the other one at all. It doesn't do anything. Hang on a second. Sorry, I had to get a bug off my phone. Anyway, there's no gasoline to be had. People are fighting in lines. There was only one station in town yesterday that had gasoline. It's called Wawa. And there was a shooting there. Somebody, you know, one of these guys in their big trucks cut in line. Somebody took offense at that. Their argument led to, I'm getting my gun. They did, and they fired. Okay, for me today, I'm running the inverter because I want to conserve what little gasoline I have left for the generator, since the generator runs my window air conditioner as well as everything else. So right now, the weather is doing well. Today, right now, it's beautiful outside. It's about 8:30 in the morning or so, something like that. All right, my son, we're on day 3 here, and we'll go from there. I got some more yard work to clean up. That's what I'm going to do today. Bye. Well, it's Sunday, out trying to find gas. There isn't gas anywhere. It's supposed to be at this station. I'm in line for it right now. Right now it's 8:15. I've been in line since 7:30 this morning. And we go up to this corner up there. It wraps around the corner. And as you can see, it just goes on and on and on.
Talking on the phone
and spinning out of control.
I was thinking,
and these waters are now deep.
Look at that. It's on the go.
This is water that's washed over the canal here, the bridge.
Gators in here.
Oh, there are. This is the water canal. Chris, this is where you fished, you and Gavin at the bridge over here. So this is the one that crosses, that goes to Hillsboro, the intersection right here, which is now dry. It's good. The water is quite a ways up on this overpass. I mean, quite a ways up. As you can see, it's really right there. And then, I don't know if you can hear it, this is a raging river over here, as water is flowing into the canal and being pushed upstream actually. So it's amazing. Of course, the fence is not in any better shape here, and that's a hurricane fence. That didn't make it through the hurricane. Well, I got the big logs and tree branches hauled out of the yard. It still needs to be raked down. It's still a mess, but at least the big stuff's all right. They're supposed to come and start picking this stuff up tomorrow. Here it is out front. That's what I hauled out of the backyard. It's a lot more there than I thought there was originally, but that'll be gone within the next couple of days, and then it's on to mending the fence.